Hello, everyone. Today on Good Morning Maine, the results are still coming in, but we're getting a good idea of who won yesterday's top races.
We'll also catch up with some children in Hamden who used a unique way to select the winning candidates.
Plus, someone on the West Coast is the winner of that massive Powerball jackpot. We'll have the latest on that as well.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Maine. I'm Emma Smith.
And I'm Craig Colson. Thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to have a look at all those election results coming up in a little bit, including who won Maine's governor's race last night. Some of the results are still coming in. So we'll just have to wait as the day rolls along to get, I guess, some of the final numbers. But before we do anything, we're going to check on that forecast. Boy, when I left work this morning, left the house this morning, I was kind of regretted. I wanted to have a little bit of a heavier coat. It's a little chilly out there today.
It's quite chilly. I saw that it's the coldest day of the season for some parts of the state.
Lovely.
So Devin Biggs has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling here. A small cloud advisory remains in effect for a little while. It's going to get dropped at around 7 a.m. or so. That's when things will begin to improve as the wave heights will start to calm down at that point. But there's nothing on the radar and satellite as we have a few nice days on the way. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to wait till about the weekend time frame for things to get active yet again. But for now, things looking pretty quiet out there as we give you the bigger picture. High pressure's right overhead, so overall, things for us are looking pretty good. So we'll have to wait a few days for our next system to move in, so we have a few nice days on the way. But moving forward, though, we do have some clouds that'll be moving forward from time to time later on tonight and parts of tomorrow. Any precipitation you see here will stay off to the north, so we will stay dry overall. As for the wind will finally begin to calm down. It's going to be kind of out of the south in a few areas at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it's going to pick up tomorrow, though, with gusts up to 15 miles per hour in a few areas. As for today, though, it's not bad out there. Upper 40s, a little cooler, mostly sunny, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Moving ahead towards tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy, with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. And our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds, temperatures in the upper 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thanks, Devin.
Election Day 2022 is now a part of history, and it's becoming clear who will lead our state in the coming years.
Well, we won't know the official results until all the votes are counted, but we're getting a good idea of who won the top races last night. By the time election night was over, it became clear that Governor Janet Mills will be returning to the Blaine House.
It also appears Jared Golden will be returning to Washington, although ranked choice voting may come into play in that race because it was so close.
Let's take a look at some of those, the graphics, and that'll bring us up to date. For the gubernatorial race, Janet Mills has been reelected as governor. As you can see there, she had the majority of the votes, coming out ahead of former Governor Paul LePage. And coming in behind them is Sam Hunkler. That one's a clear victory, so it looks like Janet Mills will be returning to the Blaine House.
And Governor Mills watched the election results come in from southern Maine, where she addressed her very happy supporters. In Maine's 2nd congressional district, the race is still too close to call. Congressman Jared Golden is currently leading that race, but because he doesn't have the 50% majority, it looks like it will end up being decided by ranked choice voting. 86% of votes counted as of 2:34 a.m. as of the AP. That means that Jared Golden came in as the winner with around 126,000, with Poliquin coming in after him with 114,000. Tiffany Bond, the independent, coming in around 17,000.
Now, in that particular race, it does appear that Golden is the clear victor there, although because he doesn't have that 50% majority needed, it looks like ranked choice voting will come into play there. We'll have to wait as the day rolls along for that. But at this point, it looks like Golden is leading the race unless something substantial happens as they turn to ranked choice voting.
That appears to be the major one that we're still going to keep our eye on as the day goes on.
Yeah. A representative from Jared Golden's campaign spoke to supporters as the polls closed around the state last night. Let's listen to that.
He doesn't seek the limelight. He's not in it for that. He's in it to do the work for his constituents. And well, I like to say he's a workhorse, not a show horse. And the citizens of this district really appreciate that.
Bruce Poliquin called it a night around 11 o'clock last night. He thanked his supporters for helping him in a very tight race.
That was close. Yeah, we told him. going to be close. It's razor thin. No, this is really close. This is one of the true swing districts in the country. About 25 of these districts in the country. It's very close, yeah. We'll see where it all goes. We'll regroup in the morning, right? Thanks, everybody. Thanks to the press, too, for being here. Appreciate you folks covering this. Good night, everybody.
Poliquin thanking his supporters last night in Herman. It appears that he's defeated at this point, but again, we'll have to wait to see what ranked choice voting does in that race. Going to backtrack just a little bit, we told you that Janet Mills won the race last night, and before she called it a night last night, she talked to her supporters. She was down in Southern Maine last night. Let's hear what she had to say.
Tonight would not have been possible without the thousands of Maine people who supported this campaign, who volunteered to make calls and knock on doors, who convinced their family and friends to vote in this midterm election. You put your whole heart into this race, and I'm forever grateful for the time and talents you've given, and from the bottom of my heart, I thank every one of you.
District 1 Representative Shelley Pingree has been re-elected to the U.S. House. Let's take a look at those numbers there and the latest there. I'm not sure how long she's been in office, but it's been an awful long time. Last I knew, with the 86% of the votes counted, as of 2:30 this morning, Shelley Pingree was winning in that race over Edward Thalander. She had more than 181,000 votes there, so it looks like she will be returning to Washington as well.
And it appears Democrats will be holding on to their power in Augusta. According to the latest numbers from the Bangor Daily, Democrats will claim 77 of the 151 seats in the House. They'll also hold a 22 to 13 seat advantage in the Maine Senate. It was a very expensive campaign season. Millions of dollars were spent by outside groups to help Democrats hang on to power. And they spent 3 times more than Republicans. Now let's take a look at some of the other races. Bangor City Council, Bangor and Herman Senate District. It looks like for Bangor City Council, Richard Fournier was re-elected, Cara Pelletier was elected, and Daniel Tremble were elected to the City Council.
A couple familiar names there. Richard Fournier, I believe he just served as mayor of the city. Dan Tremble, he's been mayor before. They'll be returning along with a newcomer, Cara Pelletier. So it's nice to have some new blood on the council as well. Moving on to Senate District 9 in the State Senate. We'll just take a couple of looks at these top races. This, of course, is here in the Bangor-Herman area. And in that particular case, it looks like Joe Baldacci will be returning to the State Senate.
For State Senate District 7, that's Hancock County, it looks like the incumbent Nicole Grahowski will be returning as well. Over at Brian Langley.
We'll see if we have anything else out. I have not talked to them personally, but I just read that the folks down on Bar Harbor have also approved a referendum that's going to crack down on the cruise ships there. You might have saw a story we did earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, about the large number of cruise ships coming into the area, and that's causing some problems in town. Some people love them because of the business, some people don't because of all the traffic, but it looks like they will be imposing new limits on the cruise ships to kind of keep things flowing a little more smoothly down there.
That will dramatically change the tourism industry down there and just the experience of walking down Main Street.
Right.
So that's very interesting. Well, the time is now 6:08. Coming up next on Good Morning Maine, we'll continue our election coverage with a look at the important races that will determine the balance of power in Washington.
But first, another look at that forecast today. Another mostly sunny day. It'll be chilly with a high of 47 degrees. Then the clouds start moving in. We'll have partly cloudy skies tonight with lows dipping into the mid-30s, followed by a partly cloudy day tomorrow. Highs a little warmer, up around 59.
Ladies, a Maine adventure.
We've got a great deal on wigwam socks.
Buy 1, buy 2, buy 3.
And get 1 free.
Thank you for shopping locally.
General Rental Center has been serving Central Maine for more than 30 years with an extensive inventory, including mini track loaders with attachments, full-size track skid steer, track loader and backhoe, wheel loader with attachments, a 50-foot towable aerial lift, and a 45-foot self-propelled four-wheel drive lift. If you can't find it on our website, we can find it for you. Call for multi-day and weekend special rates. Ben's Auto Body specializes in collision and corrosion repair, as well as mild restoration, always using PPG paints and refinishing. If it fits in our shop, we will fix it. Located 8 miles west of Walmart, just off Route 2 in Palmyra.
Hello, Eastern Maine. Watch You Bet Your Life weekdays at 10 a.m. here on ABC 7.
We discovered a bunch of marijuana, and then I said, get all your stuff off my property.
Why didn't you just move your stuff? I have 2 fusions in my back. I could not pick up one thing.
But you picked up the 30 pounds of marijuana, right?
Hot Bench. Wednesday at 3 on ABC 7.
Well, it was a busy election day, but you can't do it without people. The Cross Insurance Center stayed busy all day long as residents came by to do their civic duty. Many of the voters we spoke with were enthusiastic about casting their ballots yesterday.
I have never missed a voting opportunity since I was 18.
It's just a great way to start the day and get it out of the way before we head off and do everything else.
Why did you want to come out and vote today?
Because voting is the right thing to do.
Well, voter turnout appeared to be very high at polling places all around the state, even after some communities saw record numbers of absentee and early voters leading up to Election Day.
Voters lined up at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor to cast their ballots when the polls opened at 7 a.m. Tuesday morning. The city made sure to have plenty of poll workers on hand to help ensure voting was seamless for those making their voices heard on the election day. Bangor City Clerk Lisa Goodwin said 130 people were working at the polls at the Cross Center alone throughout the day. One of those workers, Andrew Mueller, was Andrew Moeller, excuse me.
Well, I firmly believe in the democratic process and feel that it's really important to make sure that we have, really quality people who are paying attention to our whole process and following procedures and making sure that every vote counts.
This is the 5th year Moeller has worked the polls on Election Day.
We saw similar things at polling places all around the state. I know in Brewer, they had a bunch of volunteers out there just making sure it went by smoothly as well. Before the parents even cast their votes, some children were in Hamden. They're also considering the elections. The Highland preschoolers were asked to use their taste buds to determine a winner. Jody Hersey has more.
It's a Sugar Bear Election Day, and we are voting for our favorite Teddy Grahams. We're voting for chocolate chip, honey, and chocolate.
Every year on Election Day, the students at Highland Preschool get the chance to enter the voting booth and weigh in on a race unlike any other. Which Teddy Graham flavor is the best?
All of them.
All of them? Well, which was your most favorite?
Chocolate.
Why was that your favorite?
It just was.
The 15 students in class taste test each and every flavor before casting a colored ballot in the ballot box.
Oh, it's very important because they see their moms and dads going off to the voting booths, and it's a great introduction to the election process.
At the end of the school day, all the votes were tallied.
Thank you for voting, sir. Would you like a sticker? All right, it says, I voted today. Thank you for doing your civic duty. You make sure and tell Mom and Dad to vote today, too, okay?
The results were undisputable. The chocolate-flavored Teddy Graham won by a landslide in a race where ranked choice voting wasn't needed. In Hamden, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22.
I love that.
Chocolate was the winner.
Yeah. Of course it was the winner,
I would have voted for chocolate chip.
Yeah. If they would have added that to like the adult races, something like that, we might even get more people going out to vote.
Hey, incentive.
Right.
Snacks.
Yeah. If you vote, you'll get a donut or something like that,
Right.
Maybe we're onto something here.
Okay.
Anyway, the time now is 6:14. Coming up after the break, we'll check in with the national midterm election results.
Plus, we'll hear a midterm analysis from our ABC News 1 affiliate. We'll be right back.
It's been a great summer at Dorsey Furniture, but it's time to start thinking about fall. Our new fall introductions are arriving daily and we need to make room. This means big discounts on selected items. How big? Half off. We didn't stop with just a few items. We have marked down every item in every department. Come to Dorsey Furniture during our fall clearance sale and you won't be disappointed. Dorsey Furniture, Route 1A, Holden.
Napa knows how to stay warm, and with 29 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts has just what you need to prepare for any outdoor activity. Lightweight, durable, and designed for comfort, Milwaukee's heat-on-demand jackets and hoodies are perfect for cold weather and stay warm even longer with a free battery when you purchase any M12 heated gear with Milwaukee's e-rebate program. And while you're here, sign up for Napa Rewards. You'll save more each time you shop. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
At Home, Kitchen, Bath, and Flooring in Dover Foxcroft are proud members of the Flooring Network here in Maine. We have our flooring installers on staff ready for you and your custom flooring project. With over 50 years of combined experience, we'll work with you from start to finish, including demo and cleanup. Backed by the Flooring Network's state-of-the-art warehouses, we have a massive inventory to provide you with the best value and fit any flooring budget you may have. So stop in, meet our flooring experts, and see what we can do to make you feel at home.
Now to the latest on the 2022 national midterm election. Key races across the country remain at razor-thin margins. As the ballot count continues, control of Congress remains on the line. ABC's Justin Finch is tracking the details from Capitol Hill.
A major win overnight. ABC News projecting Democrat John Fetterman as the winner of Pennsylvania's open Senate seat.
I never expected that we were going to turn these red counties blue. And tonight, that's why I'll be the next U.S. Senator from Pennsylvania.
Fetterman's fitness for office questioned after suffering a stroke last spring. The lieutenant governor now defeating Trump-backed Republican Mehmet Oz after mega endorsements from Oprah, former President Obama, and President Biden. The Pennsylvania pickup seen as key for Democrats in a battle for control of the Senate chamber. Candidates in other key Senate races still hopeful they will pull out wins.
We always knew that this race would be close. And so here, that's where we are.
Senate Democrat Raphael Warnock locked in a neck-and-neck race for re-election against Republican challenger Herschel Walker.
If you can hang in there a little bit longer.
If neither Walker nor Warnock gets 50%, they will face a runoff election next month.
It is clear that we are going to take the House back.
Republicans predicting a red wave on election night, but ABC's John Carl says results are bearing out otherwise.
It's nowhere near the night they thought they were going to have, and it's not a certainty that they're going to take the House back.
And exit polling shows young voters have been decisive in this election, overwhelmingly backing Democrat candidates in House races and largely choosing abortion over the economy as their top issue. And in that crucial Georgia Senate race, they're backing Democrat Raphael Warnock. On Capitol Hill, I'm Justin Finch, ABC News.
It's very interesting to see what's happening there. Again, a lot of people went to bed for the night last night before all the votes were counted. They'll continue that today, so we'll have a better idea of who will gain control of the U.S. Capitol Hill, basically, a little later on today. Very interesting what's going on out there.
Seemed like things were about at 80% around 3 a.m. this morning. So.
And that's typical for an election night, so we'll have a better idea today. But anyway, the time now is 6:18. That's what's important.
Yeah. So let's get a full check of that forecast with Devin Biggs.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get these rolling here this morning. A small craft advisory is in effect until 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, so later this morning, this will begin to get dropped as things will begin to improve. But even with that, the sky is pretty clear out there this morning. Not a whole lot going on here, so if you're looking for a good reason to get outside today, you will have that. Temperatures just a little bit cooler to the 40s, but nothing to get too concerned about there. We have high pressure right overhead. Our next system off toward the west. We'll wait for a few days for this to move in, as by the weekend, more decent rainfall will be on the way. Let's check out what's now Nicole, though. Tropical storm Nicole. It's now gained all of its tropical characteristics, with winds up to 70 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at around 13 miles per hour. We have tropical storm warnings and, of course, hurricane warnings up as well. It is expected to reach a Category Category 1 hurricane before landfall, and then swing up towards the north and east. So we might have to watch this system as it does develop. We will get some rain from this as it does develop. But moving forward, though, back here at home, we had a little bit of wind recently, but that's really starting to calm down. We'll have to wait until tomorrow or even later tonight and tomorrow for the winds to pick up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour in the gusty winds department again, but sustained winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, the wave height started to calm down along the coastline, right around 2 to 4 feet in some areas, 9 feet according to this buoy, even 11 feet in a few spots. So still the ocean remaining rather active moving forward. Our average high temperature is 49 degrees. We'll reach today for the upper 40s, so it's a little bit cooler, but not by much, though. We'll be in the upper 50s for you Thursday, lower 60s for you Friday, and back in the mid-60s as we head towards you Saturday before we cool back down into the 40s moving forward. So futurecast for today, a beautiful day with a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds late. Will become partly to even mostly cloudy in a few spots tonight. Any precipitation you see here will stay off toward the north. We will stay dry overall for the next few days, and even by tomorrow looking pretty good. Just a few passing clouds. No rain to worry about here. We will stay dry, but still nice weather moving forward. Just a few passing clouds at least through Friday. So for today, upper 40s, mostly sunny with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, maybe lower 60s, partly cloudy, southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Boosted auto and diesel extended forecast. So here we are. So by Veterans Day, we'll be mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 60s. We'll be in the middle 60s on Saturday with a good chance for rain. Sunday, mostly cloudy, highs falling into the upper 40s.
Thank you, Devin.
Still much more to come as Good Morning Maine continues.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine-made products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 19th and 20th, presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
Ladies, a Maine adventure.
We have a great selection of throws. They're soft, they're comfortable, and lots of flannel sheets. You can get comfy and cozy just like Adam is.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for shopping locally.
Don't cry, don't whine. Get yours where I got mine. At BB's Tattoo Company, 262 Moosehead Trail, Newport.
Living in Maine means long, cold winters and hot, humid summers. Whatever the weather, Bangor Heat Pumps is your solution. Open 24/7, Bangor Heat Pumps takes care of you at home or at work. We operate statewide and service all brands and models. Understanding moving can be stressful. We will help move any units you may have. We offer a veterans discount in our home with a Capeless Hero discount. Visit us online at BangorHeatPumpsLLC.com or call or text us at 307-7746. Bangor Heat Pumps.
This morning, it's GMA at the CMAs, your all-access pass to country music's biggest night. And we're even taking you backstage with Luke and Peyton, plus the one and only Keith Urban performs live. This morning on GMA at the CMAs, sponsored by Fritos.
Celebrate Maine artisans, sampling and shopping the very best of Maine-made products at the Maine Harvest Festival, Cross Insurance Center, Bangor, November 19th and 20th, presented by the Maine Potato Board, MaineHarvestFestival.com.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. ABC News 1 held a midterm analysis live early this morning with Chris Christie and Donna Brazil. Let's check in to hear what they had to say about the results of the election.
We were expecting a red wave tonight. It didn't happen. Why not?
Historically, parties in power lose seats, and we knew that there was a significant headwind. Biden wanted this to be a choice, not a referendum. He knew that if Democratic candidates go out there, make the case, demonstrate that they are listening to the American people, they heard their complaints about inflation, he knew that this could be a better day and better night. What you saw across the country, of course, was that Democrats holding their own. We lost some ground, but we also picked up some ground. And while all of the votes are not in, Democrats tonight are probably breathing a a sigh of relief.
And Chris, you were cautious all evening about this whole red wave thing, but you still think there's some good signs there for the Republican Party.
Well, sure. Look, it depends on how it all turns out, right, Byron? I mean, I think if it turns out that we take the majority in the House, and then on December 5th, now that we know we're going to have a runoff in Georgia, if majority is at stake there and we win that, then it's a successful night. And the other thing you have to factor into this is we did win 20 seats in 2020. And so the ability to be able to pick up 40 or 50 seats was probably never on the table. But all that being said, it still is a disappointment for Republicans that we didn't win some of those seats. The biggest cause for the disappointment are the Donald Trump endorsed candidates, because they pretty universally did poorly tonight.
If it depends on who controls the Senate, Republicans will be all in. If they've already won it or lost the Senate, then Herschel Walker's on his own.
Yeah, I think it's a much tougher race for Herschel if all the chips aren't at the center of the table. Everyone's going to put their uniform on then, because then it's for control. And even if you have some misgivings about Herschel Walker, you're going to go all in. If control's not at stake and the Democrats have already clinched control, I think people who may have some misgivings about Walker may be less enthusiastic.
What do you say? You know Georgia, you know Warnock. He has a strong ground game in Georgia.
In the state of Georgia, from November 3rd to January 5th, Democrats increased the percentage of people voting because they went out and they knocked on the doors of people who did not vote in the 2020 election on November 3rd, and they got them out on January 5th. The question is, who are the voters that did not come out today? Who failed to vote? And will they be able to target those voters?
Donald Trump. Yes. He was on the ballot in many states. It would seem at this point it was not a good night for our former president.
Well, let me just say this. He had the pick of the litter when it came down to choosing candidates across the country. And as you well know, he picked a lot of the congressional candidates, a lot of the federal, but he did not pick a lot of the state candidates. So Republican governors, by and large, did far better than some of the senatorial candidates. Here's the point with Donald Trump. Is Donald Trump a driver or is he a chaser? Is he going to drive people away from the Republican Party, like independents and independent-leaning women, suburban women, or will people start chasing him?
It wasn't a good night for Donald Trump. And whether he wants to admit it or not, which he won't, it was a bad night for him, and Republicans got a choice. Party of me or the party of us.
And that was an interview courtesy of our national ABC News affiliate.
Now to the Jumbo Powerball jackpot. Someone who bought a ticket in Southern California is America's newest billionaire. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has the details.
A winner has been announced in the largest Powerball jackpot in history, making someone out there a billionaire. Powerball officials saying the winning ticket was sold in the Southern California town of Altadena. All 6 numbers matched. This was the 41st drawing, the jackpot reaching a whopping $2.04 billion. This coming after a glitch Monday night.
Because of a technical problem tonight, we are unable to bring you the Powerball drawing at this time.
Organizers say the delay was due to a participating lottery needing extra time to complete the required security protocols.
We've never in lottery history anywhere in the U.S. had a jackpot this high. Who doesn't want to have a little chance and dream big?
Odds of winning the record-breaking jackpot, 1 in 292 million. One lucky person in Colorado took home $50,000 from the Powerball drawing this weekend.
10,000 of it's going to my kid's college fund. This pretty much makes it so he will not have to have student loans, which is excellent. The rest we're going to put into retirement investments.
Now, if that one winner decides to take the lump sum, it's $997.6 million in cash. Experts highly recommend hiring a financial advisor to help manage this life-changing moment.
Hire a financial advisor and go into hiding somewhere.
Right.
At least for a little while.
Right. It's like, can I get this in gold, please?
Yeah. You didn't buy any tickets to that.
No, I mean, we were just talking. It kind of, I don't mean to be dramatic, but even, thinking about that much money makes me a little sick to my stomach.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I blew like $20 over the last couple of weeks buying some tickets.
Good.
It's just nice for a little while. For the night before I was a billionaire for a while, you start thinking about what you would do with the money and
that's the
people you can help.
Think about it. Yeah. Because it's like,
and then, but you know that you're probably not going to win, you know. But anyway,
probably
it's fun
probably
to
not.
dream for a little while.
Yes. Well, when we return, we'll have the latest news out of Hollywood.
Don't go anywhere.
They needed help, so they asked for volunteers. In 24 hours, I was at the front.
And the captain said, well, we're going to be next. It'll be here in 2 minutes. We saw the torpedo coming in, and it hit us right in the middle. Big thump, but no big explosion. And all I could hear was about 1,000 whispers of, oh, thank you, God. Thank you so much.
I looked at the door, and out comes all these women with those beautiful uniforms on. I think a light bulb went off in my brain because I thought, I think that would be for me.
Who is it that's still living that was in World War II? I'm one of the youngest.
This Veterans Day, we honor Maine's World War II veterans. Our heroes, their own words, Friday at 8 on ABC 7.
This week on Rio, we're celebrating veterans.
Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, Army. Served 30 years with tanks. Did you say tanks or thanks?
America's game.
Grab those devices. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They're good at following orders.
Salutes America's heroes.
Marines, huh?
No, not as lean or as mean as I used to be.
Well, neither am I.
Rio's honoring veterans all week.
Weekdays at 7 on ABC 7.
This week on the Jeopardy Tournament of Champions, Amy Schneider, 40 wins. Matt Amodio, 38 wins. Matea Roach, 23 wins. They face off in a special exhibition game. Then, they take on last week's winners in the semifinals. Will there be a Super Champ showdown or a super surprise?
Ooh, big wager. It is the tightest of games.
The Jeopardy Tournament of Champions continues this week.
All this week at 7:30, only on ABC 7.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Today is Wednesday, November 9th, 2022. Today is Go to an Art Museum Day.
I love going to an art museum every now and then.
We have one right in Bangor.
Yeah,
it's the
Maine Museum of Art, right downtown
Right.
Bangor. So.
Right. Last I heard it was still free admission.
Yeah.
And there's always, like, it's a circulating kind of show, so there's
Right.
always new stuff in there.
Right. If you get a chance, head down there and check it out. It's something enjoyable, though, just going and seeing the amazing talents out there. It's relaxing to some people. So.
Local artists.
Anyway,
yeah.
celebrate Art Museum Day.
Yeah. And on this day in history, in 1620, the passengers aboard the Mayflower sighted Cape Cod as they traveled to the New World.
In 1989, communist East Germany threw open its borders, allowing citizens to travel freely to the west. It wasn't long after that they started tearing down the wall. And in 1976, the UN General Assembly approved a resolution condemning apartheid in South Africa, calling the white-ruled government there illegitimate.
Today's birthdays include actor Lou Ferrigno, he's 71 years old, singer Nick Lachey. Lachey. Ooh.
Yeah, he was like from a boy band.
Oh.
Yeah, 98 Degrees.
Did you think I would know?
I figured you'd know, but that was a little before your time.
I know. He's 49, and Baseball Hall of Fame Whitney Herzog is 91 years old.
91 years old. Lou Ferrigno, you probably don't know who he is either.
I've
There was
heard the
nobody
name.
on the birthday list today that was really famous, but Lou Ferrigno played the Hulk back when I was a kid,
right,
and
yeah.
a few other things, but he was best known for the Hulk. So
It's clearly an election
Yeah.
day because we're just like, oh God, whose birthday is
there we
it?
go.
Yes.
Yeah. Happy birthday to Lou.
I'm the
And
Hulk
rest.
today. Am I green?
Yeah.
Watch out.
Don't make her mad. One thing that will please everybody is the weather that we're having. We're having lots of sunshine, even though things have cooled down a little bit. It's still nice and sunny out there. Nice fall weather.
It's definitely layer weather now, but Devin Biggs has all the details.
And thank you very much, Craig and Emma. Happy Wednesday. And your first weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get things rolling here. A small cloud advisory remains in effect for a little while. It's going to get dropped at around 7 a.m. or so. That's when things will begin to improve as the wave heights will start to calm down at that point. But there's nothing on the radar and satellite as we have a few nice days on the way. Unfortunately, I think we'll have to wait till about the weekend time frame for things to get active yet again. But for now, things looking pretty quiet out there as we give you the bigger picture. High pressure's right overhead, so overall, things for us are looking pretty good. So we'll have to wait a few days for our next system to move in, so we have a few nice days on the way. But moving forward, though, we do have some clouds that'll be moving forward from time to time later on tonight and parts of tomorrow. Any precipitation you see here will stay off to the north, so we will stay dry overall. As for the wind will finally begin to calm down. It's going to be kind of out of the south in a few areas at around 5 to 10 miles per hour, but it's going to pick up tomorrow, though, with gusts up to 15 miles per hour in a few areas. As for today, though, it's not bad out there. Upper 40s, a little cooler, mostly sunny, with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Moving ahead towards tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. In our early forecast for the rest of the morning and afternoon period, plenty of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds, temperatures in the upper 40s. Your full 5-day forecast is coming up. Craig and Emma.
All right, thank you very much, Devin. Well, Netflix is thinking of adding some live sports to the platform. A report by the Wall Street Journal says Netflix is exploring investments in live sports broadcasting and has recently bid for the streaming rights for sports leagues. The report also says Netflix is discussing bidding for events, including cycling competitions. The data says Netflix executives have considered buying lower-profile leagues to avoid the mounting costs for bidding for sports rights. Very interesting.
I'll be interested to see how that works,
Yeah.
because I know ESPN Plus and things like that, that can be very expensive.
Oh, yeah.
I know some people pay around $80 a month to get football games. so-
Netflix used to be just you could rent a DVD in the mail kind of thing. They're
Right.
constantly evolving and changing.
Right. Yeah, I know. Ads now possibly, too.
Lovely.
Right. Well, a first look at Brendan Fraser in The Whale. Bad Sisters gets more episodes and more. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin with the latest from Hollywood.
Fraser makes a big transformation. The Garvey sisters return, and Coco gets a new platform in the Hollywood nation. Conan O'Brien is heading to satellite radio. The comedian and talk show host will launch his new Sirius XM channel, Team Coco Radio, on November 15th. It will feature interviews, comedy bits, and more from O'Brien's deep vaults.
He's sucking the life out of her.
The Garvey clan is coming back for more murder and mayhem. Apple TV Plus renewed its hit Irish dark comedy series Bad Sisters for a second season. Less than a month since the first season ended on October 14th. The show follows 5 siblings who become the target of an investigation by life insurers when their brother-in-law is found dead. Nicolas Cage has landed a new gig. According to Deadline, the actor will lead the new horror film Longlegs. Plot details have yet to be revealed. Cage will also produce the upcoming thriller through his production company, Saturn Films. And Brendan Fraser transforms into a 600-pound college professor in today's First Looks. A24 released the official trailer to Darren Aronofsky's highly anticipated film, The Whale. Based on the award-winning play, Fraser stars as a severely obese English teacher in the last days of his life, attempting to reconnect with his estranged teenage daughter. It arrives in theaters December 9th.
People are amazing.
Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Disney reaches a new streaming milestone and now says it has more subscribers than Netflix. Disney says its Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu reached more than 235 million subscribers by October 1st, and that tops Netflix's 223 million subscribers. Disney says it added customers through family-friendly features and franchises, too. Big business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know they have The Simpsons on there, so I was like,
bring it on, huh?
Right,
Yeah.
Okay. And still to come here this morning, Ryan Sudol will have the latest with local sports.
We'll be back after this.
You've probably seen those ads on TV with the out-of-state 800 number that look like information from Medicare. Some even suggest that your zip code will get you more benefits or even money back. You guessed it, those ads are misleading. So don't call that out-of-state 800 number when your help is right here at home. Do what I did and call the Senior Planning Center. They have trusted professionals all over Maine.
Call the Senior Planning Center at 223-6565. That's 223-6565.
Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop is now open in Newport. Our unique building is a converted 1800s single-family home that we've given a new life to. A home for treasures, from antiques, collectibles, unique gifts, and so much more. Come make the rounds throughout the many rooms on all 3 floors as you wander back in time or find a unique gift that's perfect for that special someone or that hard-to-buy-for relative. So come visit us today. Leona May's Antique and Gift Shop, 147 Main Street, Newport.
Let Hillman's Bakery put a smile on your face with their tasty offerings of breads, baked beans, lasagna, tuche and turkey pies, fruit and cream pies, wedding and specialty cakes, pastries, and more. Hillman's, your hometown bakery, Fairfield.
Whenever Maine Wood Floors wants to know the weather, they log on to foxbangor.com. Whether you're searching to add beauty with a new hardwood floor or need to restore your old one, Maine Wood Floors is your hardwood flooring expert in Mid-Coast Maine. Put a little more cash in your bag. Save money with half-off deals at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, everybody. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Ryan Sudol. It was a big weekend in soccer up here. At the high school level, state champs crowned in all classes across the state. And at the college level, the Husson men's soccer team punched a ticket to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2014. The Eagles, who wrote a perfect conference record into the postseason, captured an NAC East championship 2 weekends ago, and then took a 1-0 overtime victory against SUNY Delhi to take home the conference championship, their first one in 8 years. And they say, with all the hard work the team has put in both this year and last, that win meant a lot.
The group of guys I have behind me, I mean, everyone on this team has contributed. The time, the effort that we put in every training session, we're there, you know, like this is a family to me. Like, this means so much for all of us.
Now the Eagles have a big test ahead of them. They've never actually won an NCAA tournament game, and they're going to have to beat one of the best teams in the country if they want to get over that hump. The Eagles head down to play Amherst, the host of the regional, and they know they're dogs in the game, but they're also not rolling over.
We're little old Husson from Bangor, Maine. And, you know, a lot of the teams don't even know the record that we have or don't even know how successful we've been over 2 seasons. And so I said to these guys, you know, we've been waiting for this moment. This is our chance. We don't turn up and let anybody just walk all over us. And so we're going to go down there and give them a real shot.
We're the underdogs, right? We have everything to win. And playing one of the best teams in the nation, in our opinion. We have everything to win. It's going to be such a great challenge, and we're ready for it.
Okay, on to some football now. The Patriots picked up a win this week, and now they're back over 500, and they have a week to get some rest before their next game. The defense was the highlight of the day on Sunday, recording 9 sacks and a pick 6. Offense did enough to get by, but it was in no means stellar. Mac Jones threw the ball 30 times for 20 receptions, under 150 yards, and a score. The silver lining, though, no turnovers from him. Now with the win, they take a 2-game winning streak into the bye week, with a chance to rest up and get ready for their opponents from 2 Sundays ago, the Jets. And coming out of the bye, they say they'd like more consistency and some improvements on offense.
Between the coaching staff and the players and you know, just a consistent performance, play in and play out, week in and week out. I think that's really the biggest challenge for us moving forward.
Obviously, offensively, we want to do even better, and we will, and we got to look at the tape to kind of figure that out. But defense played great. You know, Uche, 3 sacks, Judon, 3 sacks, Bentley, sack, DYs, half a sack. You know, it was just sacks everywhere.
That's it for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be right back.
All right, we appreciate the sports report. Now, before we take a break, we want to recap some of the top races around the state, beginning with our governor's race. When it all settled last night, it became clear that Janet Mills will be returning to the Blaine House. She came out ahead of former Maine Governor Paul LePage and the lone independent Sam Hunkler. In this case, it looks like she had a big enough majority, so they won't be using ranked choice voting in this. So Janet Mills returning to Augusta. Moving on now to some of the congressional races.
It looks like, as of right now, Jared Golden will take the place for District 2. He came in with about 126,000 votes. Paula Quinn with about 114,000. Independent Tiffany Bond with about rounding up to 18,000. So it appears Jared Golden, the incumbent, will keep that seat. As of right now, 80% of votes have been counted. And for District 1, Shelley Pingree will The incumbent will also keep her seat with 181,000 votes, and the Republican Edwin Thilander with about 108,000, and that's about 86% of votes being counted as of right now. That's a bit more than the other districts.
Yeah, back to that congressional race. Unless something really surprising happens, it looks like Golden will be returning to Washington, but it does look like they'll have to use ranked choice voting for that. The first time they met, Poliquin and Golden, Poliquin was the incumbent, and it was a very close race. This time it looks like they have a little more distance.
Right. Still, it seems like one of the closer races of our state's election.
Definitely.
Yep.
If you're just tuning in, too, it looks like the folks down in Bar Harbor approved a new restrictions on cruise ships coming into town. We also have an idea of who's coming into office in Bangor as far as city councilors. If you have that, we can go ahead and pop it up. Last I knew, it looked like Rick Fournier and Dan Tremble will be heading back to the city council. So,
welcome back.
Oh, we just rolled the.
Ladies, a main adventure.
We got lots of boots: Sorel, Kamek, Columbia, snow pants, ice cleats, hot hands for the entire family. Everything you need. Get to Rennie's.
Thank you for shopping locally.
In Maine, it's always buying season. And at Thornton Brothers in Lincoln, we carry new Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams for your buying season. Here at Thornton Brothers, we'll help you find the right vehicle specifically for you to suit your lifestyle. As they say, the proof is in the performance. So come on over and test drive a real vehicle from a real dealership, or place your order with us and see why it really is buying season here in Maine. Thornton Brothers, Main Street, Lincoln.
Big trucks rule the road. They're dangerous, and they can cause big, bad injuries. But the big trucking companies don't stand a chance against me. I'm Jim with Lowry & Associates. If you've been hurt by a big truck, call the twos. We win for you.
For over 25 years, Maine Collision Center has been your main source for collision repair. Take a look at the following and you'll see why Maine Collision Center brings their team of collision repair specialists to guarantee the right person for the right repair job every time. The result, vehicles restored to their beauty and dependability without the weights and hassles. Owner John Stevens invites you to see his spacious new facility on Target Industrial Circle and see why Maine Collision Center should be your choice for collision repair.
Welcome back to Good Morning Maine. Well, just weeks after Hurricane Ian tore through Florida, people are preparing for yet another storm. Forecasters say coastal flooding and rip currents could extend up through North Carolina. Fox Weather's Robert Ray has more.
Hurricane season won't be going away quietly. Tropical storm Nicole is churning towards Florida's east coast. Forecasters expect the system to reach hurricane strength when it makes landfall late Wednesday or early Thursday. While Nicole's exact path remains unclear, officials in Palm Beach County say they will be prepared.
It's a situation where we're going to be watching the storm, but this is not something to be terribly concerned about because we're built for this.
The storm's effects could extend through North Carolina. Up and down the coast, people are filling sandbags and putting shutters on their windows. Crews in low-lying areas are cleaning out drainage systems ahead of flooding or storm surge.
The prep is pretty much all year long for me.
Nicole threatens to bring high winds and several inches of rain to areas already devastated by Hurricane Ian. Officials in harder-hit areas say some people are still living in backyard tents as they clean up homes.
They're crashing inside of their place of business until they can find a place to stay. You know, almost every single rental has been rented.
Residents are asked to make sure any tarps on their roofs are secure. Communities here say the possibility of more damage is unthinkable.
We're still cleaning up and still trying to get back halfway livable. And it's just, I don't know.
The Atlantic hurricane season wraps up at the end of this month. In Jacksonville Beach, Robert Ray, Fox Weather.
Another hurricane is not what they need. Well, meanwhile, the nation's largest retailer is now offering Black Friday deals to help customers save during inflation. Holiday deals began online on Monday, and those who love to scarf up deals in person can grab the savings starting today. Some of the tech deals include a $1,000 WVII projector, down to $539. A Shark Easy robot down from $449 to $258. And an Apple Watch Series 3, about $50 off. That's down $149 in all.
And along the same line, let's check in with the latest business headlines this morning. In the middle of Election Day, stock traders making their pick to buy. The Dow finishing up 1%, the S&P closed 0.6% higher, and the Nasdaq, finished trading up 0.5%. If you're planning on traveling, don't expect to get much of a deal on airfare anytime soon. Airline executives say high fuel costs, rising labor costs, and delays in getting new planes are all combining to keep fares high. The Labor Department says the consumer price index for airfare was up more than 40% compared to a year ago. The company behind Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp is reportedly ready to start laying off thousands of people as of yesterday. According to the Wall Street Journal, Meta head Mark Zuckerberg told hundreds of executives that he's accountable for being too optimistic about the company's growth. Netflix is looking to add live sports and its shows to its shows and movies. The Wall Street Journal says the company has recently bid on events like tennis, and it is apparently exploring buying some smaller sports leagues to stream their events as well.
I'm sure we'll be hearing more about that coming up here pretty soon.
I know.
Yeah. I tuned into Prime last night. I was looking for a movie, but I noticed they were offering live coverage of the elections, too, from various networks. So I ended up watching the elections because that's what I do.
Right.
But they're all changing.
Right.
You know.
I saw Hulu was doing the same thing last night.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, here's meteorologist Evan Biggs with our full weather forecast.
Alrighty, Craig and Emma, thank you very much. Your full weather forecast brought to you by Boosted Auto and Diesel. For all your automotive, heavy truck, and equipment needs, call Ronnie at 207-659-9458. All right, let's get these rolling here this morning. A small craft advisory is in effect until 7 a.m. Wednesday morning, so later this morning, this will begin to get dropped as things will begin to improve. But even with that, the sky is pretty clear out there this morning. Not a whole lot going on here, so if you're looking for a good reason to get outside today, you will have that. Temperatures just a little bit cooler to the 40s, but nothing to get too concerned about there. We have high pressure right overhead. Our next system off toward the west. We'll wait for a few days for this to move in, as by the weekend, more decent rainfall will be on the way. Let's check out what's now Nicole, though. Tropical storm Nicole. It's now gained all of its tropical characteristics, with winds up to 70 miles per hour, moving towards the west-northwest at around 13 miles per hour. We have tropical storm warnings and, of course, hurricane warnings up as well. It is expected to reach a Category 1 hurricane before landfall, and then swing up towards the north and east. So we may have to watch this system as it does develop. We will get some rain from this as it does develop. But moving forward, though, back here at home, we had a little bit of wind recently, but that's really starting to calm down. We'll have to wait until tomorrow or even later tonight and tomorrow for the winds to pick up to around 15, maybe 20 miles per hour in the gusty winds department again, but sustained winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. However, the wave height started to calm down along the coastline, right around 2 to 4 feet in some areas, 9 feet according to this buoy, even 11 feet in a few spots. So still the ocean remaining rather active moving forward. Our average high temperature is 49 degrees. We'll reach today for the upper 40s, so it's a little bit cooler, but not by much, though. We'll be in the upper 50s for you Thursday, lower 60s for you Friday, and back in the mid-60s as we head towards you Saturday before we cool back down into the 40s moving forward. So futurecast for today, a beautiful day with a lot of sunshine, maybe a few passing clouds late. Will become partly to even mostly cloudy in a few spots tonight. Any precipitation you see here will stay off toward the north. We will stay dry overall for the next few days, and even by tomorrow looking pretty good. Just a few passing clouds. No rain to worry about here. We will stay dry, but still nice weather moving forward. Just a few passing clouds at least through Friday. So for today, upper 40s, mostly sunny with the wind overall looking nice and calm. Tonight, upper 30s, partly cloudy with that south wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. For tomorrow, upper 50s, maybe lower 60s, partly cloudy, southwest wind getting up to about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Boosted auto and diesel extended forecast. So here we are. So by Veterans Day, we'll be mostly cloudy with highs in the lower 60s. We'll be in the middle 60s on Saturday with a good chance for rain. Sunday, mostly cloudy, highs falling into the upper 40s.
Salita's Rug Cleaners in Bangor is the best and only spot you should go to for your rug cleanings. Serving Maine for more than 70 years, we care about your rugs. Clean rugs last longer, and our family takes pride in being the professionals that you can trust. Our cleaning process consists of soaking your rug in a bath, shampooing, rinsing, and drying in a humidity-controlled dry room, making sure no detail is overlooked. Need a repair? We fully service every type of rug for you. Saliba's Rug Cleaners.
We care about your rugs.
With roots right here in New England, Thanksgiving is one of our longest-lasting traditions. And now Toyota, the longest-lasting brand, is holding a tradition of its own, our annual Thanksgiving Savings Event. Right now, you could save up to $1,000 with low 3.49% financing on most all-wheel drive RAV4 models. And every RAV4 comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more. Celebrate savings from the longest-lasting brand. Your New England Toyota dealer, your all-wheel drive headquarters. Toyota, let's go places.
Renovating or building new, you'll find a wide selection of high-performing, energy-efficient, and beautiful windows and doors at Hammond Lumber Company. Your Hammond sales representative will walk you through the showroom displays and help you choose options to create a personalized custom look. Free in-home measurement is available, and Hammond can deliver your order from any of their locations across Maine and New Hampshire. Bring your vision and enjoy better light and added security and energy savings with quality windows and doors from Hammond Lumber Company.
Do you have leaky pipes? Are you planning a plumbing job? Is your heating system working right? Are you designing a plumbing project? Then contact Harley's Plumbing and Heating Plus.
If your toilet will not flush, Harley will be there in a rush. Furnace bit the dust today. Harley crew is on the way. Harley Plumbing, Harley Heating.
990-2200. Call now.
Harley!
Call or visit online.
It's country music's biggest night.
It's a wonderful evening to sing together.
With a star-studded tribute to Alan Jackson and performances by Luke Combs, Reba McEntire, Cody Johnson, and more. Luke Bryan and Peyton Manning host the CMA Awards live tonight on ABC.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, a new study says a key psychedelic compound found in some types of mushrooms could help treat depression. What is that? Psilocybin? Did I pronounce it right? All right, thank you, Emma. Naturally occurring compound found in magic mushrooms can reduce depression symptoms. Researchers in London studied the data of 233 people who were unsuccessfully treated by 2 antidepressants. Volunteers were given 3 different dosages, were administered in trial groups. They found that using this compound could have benefits for patients struggling with depression. The researchers now want larger trials with more participants and use placebos to confirm results further.
Another new study says a key ingredient used to make beer could help prevent a dreaded aging disease. A study funded by the government in Italy says hops, a flowering plant used to help beer's fruity or bittering flavor, can help prevent Alzheimer's disease. The scientists say hops have compounds that prevent harmful proteins from clumping in the brain. Research showed one particular hop used in lagers and light ales had the most success in preventing Alzheimer's issues. The scientists were cautious, though, to say their research doesn't encourage more drinking.
Well, that's what I was wondering about. You know, some people are going to say, oh, it's a health food now.
Well, right. Anything to excess is, clearly not well.
Got to drink my beer, otherwise I'll get sad. Right. Makes sense.
Or Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Right?
Meanwhile, a new study suggests that mindfulness can help lower blood pressure. Researchers in Chicago studied the data of more than 200 adults with high blood pressure. They divided participants into 2 groups, one that took an 8-week mindfulness program and another that used traditional care for their blood pressure, like home pressure monitors and access to doctors.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, if you missed anything on the election, you can tune back in with us. We'll have more election results coming up.
Thanks for joining us.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Hi folks, this is Barry Gass of Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear in Orono. We've been in business since 1911, and our 3rd generation family-owned business can't wait to show you our unique line of Western wear and Western tack. We have Western boots, shirts, hats, belts, and buckles for the entire family, and Western tack from bridles to saddles and everything in between for your horse.
Gas Horse Supply and Western Wear, where the American West comes alive in Maine.
When it comes to winter footwear, warmth, waterproof, and safety matter most. Take the drive today to Comfort Shoes and More in Newport and discover the latest in winter boot technology. We've got boots rated from -60 to 0 degrees Fahrenheit to keep your feet warm in any weather. Check out the new materials guaranteed to keep your feet dry.